Welcome
Welcome.
to Shade and the City. I'm your girl Treese.
It's Nels.
And today we are jumping into, believe it or not, Love and Marriage Huntsville, season 6, episode
We
14.
on time.
If you guys haven't already, please make sure that you've hit the like button.
And that subscribe button.
And y'all, let's get into it. It's Kiuwhaaaat is the name of this episode. So yeah, let's get into it and let's get shady. Continue with Kimmy and Kiowa's conversation. Kiowa is letting her know that she has no control over what other people have to say. I think that we said that last time. And Kimmy brings up, I'm getting hot now. That's what I get for sitting in front of a heater like it's not 70 degrees outside. Anyway, so Kimmy brings up that, her saying that her and Maurice were dating before their marriage ended does make people think that she might have been responsible for the dissolution of their marriage. And brings up that, this whole time, Maurice was trying to be mindful of, what Monster heard or what he saw on TV, while her son, obviously, Jalen, had to sit back and watch his mom be called a side chick. And so she was like, I basically been taking one for the team this whole time. And so Kiowa goes on record to say that Kimmy wasn't a side chick. If she offended her.
What she said was, if she said, I never said that you were a side chick, is what she said. She said, for the record, I never said that you were a side chick, is what she said.
That doesn't mean I didn't feel that way. So,
and that doesn't mean I give a damn what I implied. All I'm saying is I never actually said that. That's what she said.
Well, Kimmy takes it, she did feel like it was a little, it was one of those, if I made you feel, but she, takes the apology.
If I offended you,
right.
I apologize.
Right. And so, Kimmy's like, all right, I'm gonna take it. She's happy that they had the conversation. It's just hopeful that, they had it and hopefully they don't have to have it again. So that was
you didn't have anything to say about this conversation?
No, only because it was a continuation and we kind of already, I mean, I'm happy that it ended the way that it ended on a positive note because obviously we still have, Monster and everything in the picture. And yeah, no, and I think that they're both being mature adults. Even Kaya was said, it even took her a little while to be in a better space and place for her to be in this, space to even be able to talk to Kimmy and for them to communicate like they are now. So hopefully
Just
they can move past this. Hopefully this is the end of the conversation.
Just still a lack of integrity and can't take accountability.
Well, somebody is not Team Kiowa.
I'm not, and I guarantee you neither is Kimmy. Kimmy just let it go because she said that's the best she gonna get.
Well,
well, moving on to, the bag. Stormi Stacks. Okay. This lady done pulled up to meet Mel in a Rolls Royce with a driver for lunch. Like, this is how we pulling up for lunch.
That's that Canvas beauty money. I'm just saying.
What? Like, girl, you're not going to the Versace mansion or nothing. Like, this is how we just pulling up just because. So, they both decided to meet up because they both want some clarity and to work on their communication. Mel shows up and actually, she's in good spirits. She tells her, you know what, we can restart. And Stormi tells her, that she feels sometimes she rather avoid the harder conversations because it's easier to shut it down than go through it. Mel said, boo, if that was me and that's what I did, I would have never had the tea and I wouldn't be here. Especially after where your mama came at me. I said, oh, well.
And Mel said, did you always know your mama felt like that?
Yeah, Stormi did. She said, yes, I did. She's like, but it was on TV. So she didn't really feel like she had a reason to feel like that once she met her. And Stormi also said that her mom ain't really never like nobody. She said she ain't never like my friends. She ain't like my husband in the beginning. She don't even like her own sister.
Right.
And Mel said, just coming out of a situation with Tisha and her mom, she's not really in a space mentally or emotionally to be, in a space with someone where she's loving on them and building a friendship, and their mama don't like them. And, she said that she knew.
She got PTSD from Miss Wanda and Tisha.
Basically. Now, apparently, Mel says, that she knew that she felt this way before she met her. And then after Stormi and her were talking, basically, or I'm sorry, wasn't talking, she just felt like it progressively got worse. Stormi said, I don't think so. Stormi said, it been tapering off. I've been feeling like this. Like you wasn't, really feeling this friendship.
Right.
And Mel was just kind of like, oh, okay. She was giving very much Kiuwhaaaat. I don't know if this is I don't know what this is, because they ain't even from the same place, but it was given very much Kiuwhaaaat. Oh, is that how you feel? I'm sorry you feel that way.
I'm sorry you feel that way.
Okay, well, can't do shit about it. And Stormi, just like Kimmy, doesn't really expect more from her. So
yeah, but she basically know how to basically what to expect and not play herself.
Mm-hmm.
I think that that's good that they finally sat down to talk. I can appreciate Mel finally, I guess, coming out and maybe saying what she needed to say. And I feel like she could have said it a while ago, but okay. But
I don't think that was actually how she felt. I don't think it had anything to do with the girl's mama. It was a cop out, just like Kiuwhaaaat.
Well, I'm good. I'm gonna give Mel the benefit of the doubt and say that she was
you the devil.
No, and she was protecting her peace. And sometimes when you don't know how to communicate things without emotion, or sometimes you got to step away and figure it out first and then come
You
back.
did. So why now come to me if you still don't know how to communicate that?
Don't do that. She communicated it. I don't want to deal with you because of your mama.
And it was bullshit.
Well, I will say she says she started feeling that way before, but honestly, I feel like they were cool. They weren't like on the same page up until that whole Twitter thing. And maybe Mel didn't directly say to her, but I think the fact that her mom was in the background talking was like, okay, how am I going to manage being friends with this girl when her mom clearly got an issue with me? So,
because y'all are both grown adults and not little kids, and y'all can have conversation and not hide away for months and block people and expect them to DM you.
Well, I mean, look, Stormi DM'd her to get that meeting, so
because apparently that's the only way Mel's going to answer.
I'm just saying, it goes down in a DM. I'm with Mel. It go down. It go
for certain people.
Tisha and Marsau are meeting up to basically, is it Tisha and Marsau wrong? Yeah, they meet up at the venue for the Black Business Expo, and she's invited everyone out to view the space in hopes that they'll start getting excited about the event. So Martell compliments Tisha and said, it's like, oh girl, looking real good in them jeans.
Looking thicker than a snicker, girl. That girl.
And Marsau was kind of looking at him sideways, like, "Yo, why are you
looking at my wife?"
And Martell don't feel no type of way.
What?
He said
she looked like she in the gym.
Right. And as long as he been working with Marsau, he said at the end of the day, Tisha still look better than him. I said, well, and as she should. So then Tisha breaks the news that Mel is not going to be a part of Expo. And Martell looks a little bit disappointed, and he says that he doesn't feel like the court situation and everything going on should affect their business ventures. And I was like, she just don't want to be around you. He looks so hurt, like the one opportunity I had to see her. So Tisha understands her points about, there being bad history between the group. And of course, Martell wants to make it all about him. And it has to be me. It must be me. It must be me. Yes, you're probably 95% of it. No, I'll give you 90. The other 10% is Tisha. So Maurice is now on board and said that, now the Stormi and Cortney are involved. But he does talk about how, like, I just miss like the old days and the momentum and everything when it was Mel and Marsau and first coming up with the idea. And I'm like, that was so long ago, my brother. That was so
I'm
long.
living in the past.
Right. Yeah, living in the past. So then Stormi and Cortney show up and Martell immediately lets them know that they're Mel's replacement. I was like, you are
Actually,
petty. Right. And I guess in a way, I was like, so were you trying to make Stormi feel away? I just, yeah. It gives me the vibes that Martell really don't see it for Stormi. As Tisha is trying to show them around, everyone is obviously distracted by how them jeans is jeaning, okay?
and
And
nobody.
and even Stormi was like, yeah, this is ass and it looks amazing. So by the end of the walkthrough, everyone seems to be on board, and Tisha feels like that, she's done something good and is ready for the expo.
So Maurice has finally spent some time with some quality time with
Right.
Monster. He took him to go play some basketball and pick his brain about how he's been feeling lately, all while getting his ass whooped. Now that is
Mm. He
that is
thought he was gonna do something and he ain't do
he
nothing.
thought I think he had 2 points and Monster ended with 14. Sir, go bench yourself. Okay.
Yes. That's
Now, Monster told him that basically he gets tired of hearing the lectures all the time, and Maurice said he's tired of giving them.
mm,
He had to realize that, Monster is not who Maurice was growing up, all the working extra jobs and basically saying not being lazy is what I got from what Maurice was
right.
saying. He was like, I wasn't lazy and you get everything handed to you. So you lazy and I get it, is basically what he was saying. And basically tells him that he's his own person. Now, Maurice says that he wants to know who he is. And Monster says he's still trying to figure it out.
Right.
Maurice tells him, any questions that you have or anything that you want to know about, anything I'm talking to you about, feel free to have a rebuttal or, ask me questions. You have my permission to do so. And basically they decide that, they're going to go out to eat as long as Monster can whoop his ass again, which it don't seem like there'll be a problem.
Right.
And he also reminds him that he still has his responsibilities at home to take care of, which Monster makes it seem like he already does, but apparently he's just going to do it to get his phone back. And
Right.
reassures him that they're going to spend a lot more quality time together.
Well, I thought this was cute. I think that it's good that he took the initiative to take Kimmy up on what she said and actually spend some time with him. Now, whether that'll continue or whether it was just for the camera, but it does. I like the fact of what he said about, like, I put all this on you because of what I went through as a child and what I was doing. And I have to understand that your circumstances are completely different than what I was going through. That would be like me expecting Jalen to go get a job at 14 and be
Yeah.
working jobs by the time. Like, if he didn't need to do that, why would I make him do that?
Mm-hmm.
So I could appreciate that he did have that realization. Cortney goes over to visit his mom, Shelby. He
They are twins.
They really are. He brings up that Stormi keeps bringing up having another baby, and he says that, he's kind of just dismissing it and pushing it off. He talks about his childhood and how hard his mother worked as a single parent. It seems like what I got from the scene is that it seems like he's in fear that if something happens to Stormi, I guess maybe during childbirth or just in general, but he has a fear of being a single parent. So she asked him if he's having abandonment issues because the absence of his father, which actually makes Cortney a little emotional. And his mom comes over to embrace him and lets him know that, it's okay for him to feel the way that he does. And Cortney admits, like, he does feel a way that his dad missed out on everything. Okay, I see you have thoughts. But anyway, so but she also lets him know that you can't dismiss how Stormi feels and what she wants as well. And basically told him that they really need to sit down, just the two of them, and have a real discussion, and get on the same page. And basically says that if you could, if she could do it again, she would have her kids closer together versus having them spaced out. So I was like, well, mama trying to come through with some good advice, but from the looks on the next episode, it don't look like
It did anything.
Courtney is still very adamant that's not what he wants to do.
So from that conversation, you got that he was worried something was going to happen to Stormi, and he would be a single father.
Because he kept saying, oh, like, because he said to his mom, it's not like I feel like we're gonna get divorced, so we plan on leaving each other or anything.
Yeah, because
Oh,
but that's why. But he kept on talking about being a single mom. So that was the only thing that confused me.
it
And
was
that's
it was confusing. It was confusing, and that's why I said I believe that's what I believe he was trying to say. Because it was confusing because he kept talking about being a single mom, and I was like, "Are you going to jail, Cortney? Like, what's going on?"
we're getting a divorce. That's why when he said
Right,
we're getting a divorce or anything, then I was like, so then what are you saying? I never
right,
related.
and that's why I came to the conclusion he has to be thinking that either she could possibly, lose her life,
Also suggested surrogacy.
but he doesn't. What he already said, he doesn't want someone else having their child. So I don't know, but I will say I did get the sense that whatever it is, he just doesn't want to lose her or have him removed from the household. It was kind of confusing, but it was an emotional moment for Cortney, so I didn't want to dig too deep.
Yeah, I couldn't really get into
You're
the
still confused. You're still
I couldn't get into the emotions because I was like, what is this man talking about? Uh,
um
anyway,
everybody need their camera time. Go ahead.
I guess. So Stormi is at the Black Expo. She's setting up. She's super stressed because Cortney is trying to rush in order to get to New York for Campus Beauty. Apparently, she got to make that bag or she gonna be penalized. She ain't playing no games, okay? She need to keep her driver.
Okay.
Okay. Um, and now really she feeling like she really shouldn't have committed to the Black Expo because she got to pay these people, and that's her bag over there. I'm just saying.
Mhm.
Um, now apparently the turnout was better than Tisha expected because they might run out of space. They got a lot more
Right.
vendors than they was expecting to. It looked like she really wanted to really get on the lady that was telling people, yeah, come on through. She was like, yeah, you should have had them come back for next year so they'd be excited to do it next year. Like,
Right.
I'm not gonna curse you out on camera, but you bitch. And apparently Stormi took up a whole back corner. Okay. Stormi said, girl, I ain't doing no table. This
Right.
I need the
And
setup.
I thought Stormy's setup was beautiful.
It was beautiful, but apparently it was taking up a lot of space. But she had a very good point because Miss Tisha, who don't pay attention to details, apparently, didn't send over the dimensions. So she didn't know how much space she was supposed to
Or
take.
that there was a cost.
Well, that didn't need to be sent over. They saw each other face to face for that. So then Marsau got there, basically took over. Tisha told him that he was on 20. He said, you know what? Sometimes that's what it takes. Then he asked if Stormi paid for her spot. And Tisha said, well, we asked about sponsorship, but we never told anybody that they had to pay. And if you want to do it, sir, you go do it because I ain't doing it. That's some tacky shit. So he marched his ass right over there and said, hey, how about that $100? And she like, what? What $100? You ain't never told me that I need to pay $100. And why didn't you mention that in the meeting?
That was
Before
real
today.
low vibrational.
This is real low vibrational. Okay. And you're bigger than that to come to me today about some $100.
I felt
Um,
Stormy on everything she said.
so he was like, you know what? It's really not that big a deal. But you're being low vibrational too with a smile. Then he called Tisha over. And Stormy said, girl, let me tell you what your husband just did. He
Right.
came over here asking about where my boost money at.
And I don't know why he called Tisha over when Tisha had already told him that was tacky.
He acted like it was for something else. Remember, he was like, oh, I forgot what it was with her and this vibration, this low vibrational stuff. And
Mm.
then someone was like, well, let me tell you what your husband did. So basically, yeah, she was like, you know what? If this is how they do business, I'm definitely not doing business with Marsau moving forward. Gonna wait till the day of, ask me for $100. You should be lucky I'm here. You couldn't get nobody. If
When I
anything, you should be paying me $100.
and hence why Mel was hip and said, I ain't with it.
I ain't about to stress myself out over that bullshit.
Right. And yeah. So that was pretty much the episode. I don't think Stormi did anything wrong. I think Marsau was being
it looked like next episode is going to roll right into
right.
more of that.
And I'm here for it. I'm here for it because I feel like, a lot of people are. And now I'm not with the whole, back and forth between men and women, but I do feel like sometimes when he clearly don't listen to his wife, so I do feel like sometimes Marsau does need a woman to put him in his place and be like, your wife might accept that shit and let you talk to her like that, but that's not universal. Maybe they'll be able to gaslight her and all that other stuff, but no. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in to another review of Love and Marriage Huntsville. If you haven't already, please make sure that you hit that like button.
You comment.
You subscribe.
And you hit the notification bell.
And make sure you're following us on all the platforms, the TikTok, the Twitter, the Facebook, and the IG. And yes, we'll catch you next week for another review. And make sure that you guys be on the lookout for our review of the newest season of Ready to Love Dallas. So yeah, that will be coming out very, very soon. And we got some exciting things on the way. So yes, stay tuned. We love you guys. Thank you for your support and have a great week.